It depends. It's our July market edition for Calgary's residential and area market update. So, got a lot to cover today, so I'm just going to kind of jump into it and talk about our what we usually do, the market segments, price points, and then we're also going to dive into some stats and get it a little bit more focused. So, June was an awesome month, and people have asked me, like, are the sales going to continue? Well, right now you have to look at things that, are identifying how the market potentially could progress, without saying, do we have a crystal ball? So one of the things that I'm looking at is I'm looking at the amount of inventory on the market right now to determine whether or not it's a seller's market or a buyer's market. And right now we're still having a seller's market here. One of the reasons being is, we've got still just hovering over 2.5 months of supply. So I think that that's really important to look at. The new listings in June were the second highest ever to date, but we also had super strong sales. So we're just under, as I said, that 2.5 months of supply, sitting around 2.4 months. So if we look at the styles of the homes, we've got detached, the average price sitting at $583,000. This is the key indicator here right now. The months of supply sitting under 2%. So, it's definitely a lot harder to, find the houses. One of those reasons people, I think, are still looking for additional space for whatever their needs are. And, dirt is always king. It always has been, always will be. What else can I tell you about it? We're 1% higher on prices than the previous months, but 13% higher than previous year's average price point. So some of the best districts in Calgary have been the north, the northwest, the south, southeast, and the east districts. The ones that are still a little bit behind on the market trends or the price point going up would be the west district and the northeast side. So, keep in mind that the style of home is super hot for detached, but it depends on what districts. And as well, talking about the city center, prices there still haven't rebounded fully yet, but I think that once COVID has, once we've gotten over that hurdle, you're starting to see, people take interest into that inner city. We're just creatures of habit. We like amenities. We like that walkability, river pathways, walking to work. I think that those will still be things of importance to us. Talking about semi-attached, year-to-date record highs. The sales have surpassed the new listings. And that's why we're seeing jumps right now of the average price of $509,000. With months of supply sitting around 2.5 months. The gains have been sporadic across the districts, so it just depends on where you're talking about there. Some of those communities are, 5% increase in prices. Others have been 10%. So it's important to know that the districts definitely are playing a factor in the semi-attached market. Apartments, the average price point is up slightly at $257,000, but our months of supply is sitting at 4.4%. We've seen a lot of sellers come on the market this year, including myself. I sold one of my condos, just looking to make my money work a little bit harder. But in terms of affordability, apartments are still one of the best places to be looking. So, if that's your game and, you like that lifestyle, it's definitely one to still consider. And then finishing off with row houses. Row houses had the highest number of sales since 2007. But they also had record high listings. So it's kind of balanced in that segment right now. The average price point sitting around $343,000 at 2.68 months of supply there. So what's happening in the areas surrounding Calgary? Well, Airdrie is just on fire right now. I've always made the joke that it must be the drinking water, but in the first 6 months, they've surpassed previous annual sales. So it's really tough right now to find product in there. The sales to listings is around 90%, which is just almost unheard of. The months of supply just sitting over 1%. And the prices in Airdrie, just trying to see here, 15% higher than last year. So that's even exceeding Calgary's numbers right now. What's going on in Airdrie? Well, it's mirroring similar to that of Airdrie. You know, the second in lowest amount of inventory, second to that of 2007 for a historical low. The prices are up about 4%. Okotoks also mirroring that of Cochrane and Airdrie. The months of supply is sitting under 1%. It's 50% lower than the long-term average. The prices are up 14% year over year. So all surrounding areas are super strong as well. Finishing off on our daily stats. So the numbers that I'm going to talk about here are Calgary in total. So that's all segments of the market here. So I'm going to compare that to detached homes. So you can just sort of get a sense as to how popular right now the detached market is. But let's talk about the total stats or the total segments in general here. So the total sales in Calgary right now are up 20% for the month of July. Sitting at about 497. The new listings are down about 1.8%, so just under 2% there at 680. The average price is up 7.62%, and the days on market average is down 35%. So this number hasn't changed since we talked about these stats a couple months ago. It's sitting around 36 days on market. So how does that compare to detached homes? Well, you can see that the sales are up 14% for the month of July, year over year, at 307, and it's basically more than 60% of the total sales currently right now. So 400, almost 500 versus 307. The new listings year over year hasn't changed. It's sitting at around 389 for the first 6 days of the month. And again, it's certainly more than half of the total number of new listings for Calgary. The average price point is up 10% versus 7.62. So we see that it's 570,000. And the days on market is almost 50% lower at 26 days versus 36. So if I was to park my money and look to be for an investment right now, it's certainly on a single family. If you're looking for middle of the road, obviously, detached townhomes or semi-attached, or townhomes are fairly decent buys right now that'll get you a decent return. And if you're looking for affordability, apartments would be where I would be putting my money, but that would be to live. I'm not sure I'd be investing in that. If you want to know more about price point or style of home or what communities in Calgary are performing the best, or even the lifestyle to pair your lifestyle to your price point, give us a call. We're not just realtors, we're Calgary born and raised. Enjoy the rest of the summer. Enjoy the start of Stampede or wherever it is that you may be getting out and enjoying the next couple of months. Enjoy the week. Cheers.